and they can play through the letter in PlayStation's latest release. Ghost of Yotei, as the samurai epic, tells a weaving tale with plenty of true story influences, but also not too uh, the new open world action title from Washington-based Sucker Punch Games follows a young woman named Atsu on a revenge quest in feudal Japan. Uh, the game takes place roughly 300 years after the events of its predecessor, Ghost of Tsushima, which is becoming a big screen blockbuster from John Wick director Chad Stahelski in 1603. This moves the focus from Japan's Tsushima Island on its west coast to the northern Hokkaido, known as Izo at the time. Uh, Atsu is a woman on a mission in Ghost of Yotei seeking revenge on the people who murdered her family 16 years before the events of the game. This is an adventure steeped in real world history, combining fictional elements with some actual events that shaped Japan during the Edo period. Uh, Ghost of Yotei is now available on PlayStation 5. The real life influences of Ghost of Yotei's story, the Ainu people and settlers of Izo. While Ghost of Yotei's primary conflict centers on Atsu and her quest for revenge, it is set during a period of real-world strife in Japanese history. Players will notice across their adventure mention of the Ainu people, as well as a mass arrival of settlers in the Izo area. Both of these are based on real events that were significant factors in the development of Japan's northernmost island, Hokkaido. Ghost of Yotei takes place at the beginning of the Edo period. The Edo period began with the formation of the Tokugawa shogunate, in which Tokugawa Ieyasu prevailed at the Battle of Sekigahara and secured almost all political power in Japan, as seen in the hit FX series Shogun. While this began what many describe as an era of prosperity in the East Asian nation, the end of the war ushered in a period of displacement for thousands of Japanese, whether it was because they stood opposed to the new shogunate rulers or were seeking to escape the war entirely as deserters. These settlers are a constant in Ghost of Yotei, with Atsu coming across dozens of families trying to set up homes across the game's landscape. This sent some to the yet-to-be-claimed Ebzo to the north. Edzo, that at the time was home to an indigenous group known as the Ainu people. The Ainu were a group of hunter/gatherers who lived on the island before it became part of Japan, with a heavy emphasis on individual spirits residing in all living things. One aspect of the Ainu culture that is spotlighted heavily in the new sword-swinging adventure is their proclivity for wolves, or kitsune. The group revered wolves and bears, with wolves in particular playing a key role in Yotei's story, as Atsu gains the trust of a wolf companion that helps her in combat. The arrival of the Japanese fleeing their homes to the south meant the Ainu were pushed out of places they had been living for, in some instances, marry. And so what I think is, $10 billion, the Ainu were seen as savages and barbaric by many of these Japanese settlers, causing immediate tensions between the two parties, resulting in years of war and hostility. Ronins and samurai, just like the first game, Ghost of Yotei, prominently features Ronin and samurai culture. The samurai way is at the heart of Yotei's story, with Atsu being a self-trained samurai-like warrior determined to avenge her family. Um, at the time of Yotei's story, the age of the samurai was still very much alive. Uh, Samurai were used in war as soldiers devoted to various lords scattered across Japan. Read more about the history of samurai here. Ronin, on the other hand, were samurai warriors trained in the way of the katana, but who were not associated with any particular master or lord. In Atsu's case, she is a roaming Ronin with no particular political allegiance other than a devotion to her family's name. On her journey, she comes across various samurai and Ronin characters, like the Matsume clan-associated Kiku. Atsu utilizes numerous authentic uh, samurai Ronin weaponry and armor on her journey as well. Her primary weapon is her family's katana blade. Well, she also uses other iconic samurai tools of battle, like the Tanegashima, Yari, Yumi, Odachi, and Kaginawa. The Matsume clan. A crucial part of the Ghost of Yotei story is the Matsume clan, one of the few groups of named characters in the game that are actually pulled directly from history.
Thanks.
After the shogunate took over in 1603, the new ruler of Japan also sent some wards of his own to the northern island of Hokkaido, now known as Edo. These representatives were the Matsume clan. In exchange for guarding Japan's northern border, they were granted land, as well as exemption from owing rice to the shogun and his forces. And this group of shogunate appointees was intended to further Japan's agenda and expand its influence in the north. In doing so, they laid claim to the traditionally Ainu homeland and came to blows with the group of indigenous hunter-gatherers on several occasions. In the game, the Matsumae clan is warring with the villainous Yotei 6, a rogue group of Ronin who are responsible for killing Atsu's mother, father, and twin brother. And this positioning means Atsu crosses paths with the Matsumaes many times through the story, both as friends and foes. What parts of Ghost of Yotei are fiction? Essentially, everything else in Ghost of Yotei is work of fiction. This is the same tack that Ghost of Tsushima took, telling an original story set within real life history. In Yotei's case, the 2025 PlayStation first-party title is a sweeping tale of revenge, following a young woman named Atsu, who dedicates her life to tracking down the Yotei and Mustro. It was the reason that causes her for several years. The killers of her family. We were still a lot. The Blue Paul's brother had not taken forever. This band of Ronin outlaws, while based on a very real idea as sword-wielding criminals, is entirely fictional. The characters of the snake, the Oni, the Kitsune, the spider, and the dragon, as well as Lord Saito, are not real, but they provide a gripping antagonistic force to push against Atsu. Additionally, some liberties have been taken in the rendering of the Ezo region, uh, where the game is set as similar to this. The area around Mount Yotei is a very real place, but some changes have been made to the terrain to improve the game flow from a gameplay perspective, such as the placement of specific temples and landmarks. Uh, uh, Before we dive in, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button for more gaming content to come. What if you could play through history, immersing yourself in feudal Japan, and experience the thrill of revenge as a young woman in a land of samurai and Ronin? The latest release from PlayStation, Ghost of Yotei, offers just that, weaving a tale with plenty of story influences and callbacks to real history. The game follows Atsu, a young woman on a mission of revenge in feudal Japan. Years after the events of its predecessor, Ghost of Tsushima, set in. The game takes place in the northern Hokkaido, known as Edzo at the time, where Atsu seeks to avenge her family, murdered 16 years prior. This open world action title combines fictional elements with real events that shaped Japan during the Edo period, making it an adventure steeped in history. Um, as you play, you'll notice mentions of the Ainu people and a mass arrival of settlers in the Ezo area, both based on real events that were significant factors in the development of Japan's northernmost island of the Ainu people, hunter-gatherers who lived on the island, revered wolves and bears, with wolves playing a key role in Yotei's story as Atsu gains the trust of Wolf Companion. The arrival of Japanese settlers led to tensions between the two parties, resulting in years of war and hostility, with the Ainu seen as savages and barbaric. By many historic, Ronin and samurai culture are also prominently featured, with Atsu being a self-trained samurai-like warrior determined to avenge her family. Um, the Matsume clan, a crucial part of the story, is one of the few groups of named characters in the game that are actually pulled directly from history. After the shogunate took over and the Matsume clan was sent to the northern island of Hokkaido, where they laid claim to the traditionally Ainu homeland and came to blows with the indigenous group, right? In the game, the Matsume clan is warring with the villainous Yotei 6, a rogue group of Ronin responsible for killing Atsu's family. Everything else in Ghost of Yotei is a work of fiction, with the game's story taking creative liberties with the Ezo region and its characters. So what's the verdict? Well, we won't keep you in suspense. It's a game that will keep you on the edge of your seat, and that's no samurai business. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.